Hello and welcome to the Team Bus. This is the side piece companion sidekick podcast to our main Beyond the Slipstream show. I'm Matt Harper. I'm here with my brother Justin, and we're going to get into some cycling and non-cycling stuff over the next 25 to 40 minutes. Who knows? Justin, go.
So I'll start with some sad news. Just wanted to recognize Samuel Prevertera, who was 19, and he was part of the Hagens Berman Jayco Academy of under 23 racers. And he suffered a heart attack after an hour of racing during the first stage of a race that he was in earlier this week, literally falling off his bike. So it's very sad news.
It's super sad, and I didn't realize that he had a heart attack. That in a way it changes the complexion of that story, because I heard somebody, I don't know if he was it on the GCN show, was it Low Rent Jackman making some kind of statement about, Rick, come on, races, you got to do better. People keep dying, like, figure this out. But I'm like, how do you figure out somebody dropping dead of a heart attack?
That
That's
also may have been
that's not on
like
the race.
before people realized what had actually happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's on the sport. If that is what happened, are people being pushed too hard? But I mean, sure, things like that have happened to countless people whose names we'll never know over the years.
Of course, of course.
Oh, also, do not spoil whatever happened in today's stage.
Don't you do you neither? Because I didn't finish it.
I
Well,
didn't start. I didn't start it.
I should
I
say
started
this.
the pre-show.
I know who wins because I'm an idiot and I went on Pro Cycling Stats like an asshole,
Yeah,
doing something else and saw it. So it is spoiled for me. But I have not watched. I've seen Col du Glandon and Col de what is it, Madeline, and I have yet to finish Col de Los. So I have Col de Los to go.
gotcha. Well, I have it just like in silent mode on the other computer, but I literally started it from the beginning, so it's like 168 kilometers to go or something like that.
Yeah, and it's
I'm not.
it's like uphill, 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 downhill for 10 minutes, uphill, 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 uphill,
Yeah, it's
downhill
crazy.
for 10 minutes.
That profile
It's
was just
up.
kind of nuts to look at. It's like you're looking at that profile, and it's literally just like three pyramids, and each one has HC on the top. That's
Yes,
it. It couldn't be simpler. There's one little like sprint in the beginning, and then it's just like
yes.
insane.
So, well, since we're talking tour, we can talk some other things that happened in the tour that we didn't really talk about. Jonas Vingegaard had a crash after the Mount Ventoux finish. A photographer just like ran freight, straight in front of him and knocked him down, and he was none too happy about it. I don't think that he suffered anything, but he had some choice words for the photog.
Yeah, that stuff happens on a regular basis. Man, that literally just happened to someone else this spring, like 2.5 months ago at the end of some race. Guy got tangled up with a photographer.
Did you see? By the way, did you see the thing that happened at the on the rainy stage, the sprint stage 2 days ago, with the guy like the rando like rolling up in a decathlon jersey and they like hit him off the bike.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think so.
I
I
mean,
saw
the guy
some.
like full like checks him off the bike in the finish line.
God, this is becoming a thing too now. This is ridiculous. You had the guy in the UAE kit in the women's race, and in the it was in the Giro or the Vuelta earlier this year. It's like one of those big races. Remember that? And some it was a man. It was a women's race, but it was a man in UAE team UAE
Yeah,
Emirates kit, and he just like rolls out on the course, and he's riding along, and they weren't wise to it for a a few seconds there at least.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on?
If you're interested in seeing what I'm talking about, go to the Beyond the Slipstream Instagram. I posted it today, a little cut of it. But yeah, that was crazy. Let's see. I can't remember. Hold on. Danny Van Poppel exited the race for
Dirty Danny?
Dirty Danny actually left for, in my opinion, very, very good reasons. He welcomed the birth of his daughter, Bobby, on Wednesday, and so
Dirty Bobby, little Dirty
little
Bobby.
Dirty Bobby, little
That's
Dirty Bobby.
cute.
So he the this is the interesting factoid that I took away from this, though. So it's very sweet. Congratulations to Danny Van Poppel on the birth of his daughter. The last time he abandoned the Tour de France was more than a decade ago, 2013 and 2014.
Wow,
Can you believe that?
he's a hard man. He's a hard Belgian man.
Absolutely.
He's got to be that dirty. You don't get that dirty without being hard.
Okay. Speaking of other withdrawals,
You know who he's not as hard as though?
who?
Benicio del Toro and Sicario.
That,
The hardest person of all time ever.
that's pretty. I don't know. That, I don't know.
I'm not trying to start a
I know, but it's
that's just a talking point that I like to throw out at times because it gets people thinking. Because on the one hand you're like, yeah, you're totally right. Well, but also you're totally right. Well, shoot, I can think of some hard
good.
off moves.
It's very good, but I don't know.
It's like he's lost everything. You know what I mean? That's the part of it. He's so good at what he does, and he's lost everything, and he has no reason for any like. Anyway, all right.
Another couple of notable abandons. So Matthew Vanderpool left. Did you hear why Matthew Vanderpool left the race?
I did not.
Pneumonia.
Oh yes, I did hear that. Pneumonia. That blows.
Yeah, right?
That's a real shame.
Absolutely.
That's a sickness.
He was having an absolutely fabulous tour.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always the other side of it, which is like, well, be thankful it wasn't an injury. Be thankful he didn't break his femur. Something that could actually affect him. I mean, it sucks in the here and now, especially like right in the middle of the Tour de France of all times. You got 365 days in a year, and it's got to happen for the 3 weeks that we're in the Tour de France.
Well, it goes to show you that these guys push their bodies to the limit, and they become more susceptible because of the strain that they're putting on their bodies. So
For sure.
Now, speaking of that, I want to walk back a statement I made in the podcast regarding Remco Evenepoel.
Funny. It's funny you're saying this because I was wanting to pick a bone with you over your Remco comments.
All right.
So let's see. But you first. Let's hear what you had to say.
So I'm walking. The reason I'm going to walk back my comments is today on social media. I caught it on Instagram. He wrote a letter to his fans explaining his actions and what happened, surrounding his abandonment of the tour. I have been very critical of the little bastard, on the show. And I really respected what he had to say in this letter that he put out today. Basically, to summarize, he said that essentially, the whole year he was pushing himself to be at a level that, he probably wasn't going to be able to hit. You alluded to it too about the buildup, and you kind of made mention in it what you had to say echoed very much what he had to say as far as where he was, how fast he had to get there, and the pressure there was to be able to get there. And that, through the first part of the tour, he felt very good, but when it came down to it in this, this latter part of the tour, that his body had pretty much given out and that he had started to get sick. And that it was really hard for him to abandon, to accept that that was the right thing to do and be strong enough to do it. And he wrote this very vulnerable letter saying that, it's hard for me to do this, but I know that it was the right thing to do. And I respect that. And so I'm going to walk back what I said about him leaving. And, I know Adam Blythe from GCN kind of echoed my same sentiments about him leaving. And I'm going to pull it back on. I'm going to pull back on it and say that I think I was wrong in my assessment of that situation.
That is that's a facet of the situation that we kind of didn't touch on, but hearing you say it out loud, it makes total sense. Which is like, these dudes, they want to race. Their entire life is dedicated to getting to these 3 weeks of the racing calendar, because this is the biggest stage of all. This is the place, and that man, you better believe, that man wants 21 opportunities to get a win on that stage, and there ain't no way that he's leaving unless there's a damn good reason.
Well, and he said in the letter that, he had multiple days in the white jersey. He won a stage of the Tour de France. It's not it's not a disaster by any stretch of the imagination. I will say too, just kind of surrounding this, I'll dovetail this into another comment that kind of popped up today as as I was doing kind of news research. But there's also been some criticism that, Tim Merlier suffered in this tour, and and this is something I'd like to get into more on the podcast, but that, Tim Merlier has had wins costed him because he doesn't have the right type of riders around him, or at least enough of the right type of riders around him. So I think this also adds fuel to the fire of, I imagine that Remco is going to leave Soudal and go somewhere else.
Oh, it's pretty much a done deal that he's going to Bora. Like, that's almost a done deal. That's why when he gave the beat on, when he bowed out of the race, he gave the beat on to the kid. Everybody was like, and if you notice, the kid was in Bora Kid. He's already building his fan base. So well, here I completely agree. It's like we said the other day. Somebody was saying, like, Tim Merlier is the best sprinter in the world, and has earned the right to have an entire team dedicated to him. And he's on mother freaking Quick Step. He's on the team that goes to the Tour de France with a big ass sprint train and mops up five stage wins.
Yeah.
In sprints. He's on that team and he's primed and ready. But I want to turn around and look at it from the team situation. So you've got Remco Evenepoel, been on the team for a couple of years. Tim Merlier, been on the team for a couple of years, right? And as we know, sprinters really go in cycles where, like, one guy gets up.
They have a shelf life.
And he's dialed in for some period of time. And as it so happens, but Quick Step has embarked upon this long-term journey of trying to turn Remco Evenepoel into a stage racer. And so, as it turns out, their sprinter happens to be peaking the exact same moment that they need to put all this emphasis on Remco Evenepoel and sending him to the Tour and making that next step along that journey. And you just can't do both of those things, because you can only send 7 riders to the Tour de France.
Did they make a mistake by trying to push to do? I mean, I think we both agree that they made a mistake trying to do both. But was the real mistake not putting all of the emphasis on Tim Merlier? Because Remco wasn't there. And I think that you have to assess it. And I think that, you have to make the hard decisions. You only get one crack at the tour every year. And you're absolutely right that a sprinter like Tim Merlier does absolutely have a shelf life. And I think we would both agree that hands down, he is the best sprinter in the pro peloton right now. That
He has missed 3 opportunities in this Tour de France because of bad positioning or
Yes.
no lead out. No, I should say, well, he could have been further up in yesterday's stage that Milan won.
Look,
He was far enough back that the crash took him out. If he was 10 riders forward, he's contesting the sprint. That
hold on.
Say that's on him.
But you can make the point that if he had a better lead out team, that he would have been in the front of that pack and not
That's
at
exactly
the
what
back
I'm
of
saying.
the pack.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's my whole point.
Okay.
So
All right.
so
we're in
maybe
agreement
it's 3.
that he's suffering because of that.
Right. At the same time, if you are looking at it from a team perspective, if I'm the team boss and you're coming at me like, what the fuck, man? You're fucking up, man. Remco's gone and like Merlier could have went on. I'm looking at you and I'm going, we have 4 stage wins. We have 4 stage wins. Shut the fuck up. We have 4 stage wins. All right. So this is not a bad tour. This is arguably, outside of UAE, this is arguably the second best tour for a team so far.
So, speaking of other Soudal wins, I'll transition that into something else that I had, another note I had here. So Valentin Pere-Pantra, who won at the top of Ventoux.
Yeah.
This quote I just absolutely love. This is what he had to say about his win. I have to give my life to pass him and win. Just like so powerful, dude. Like that's just the like.
Wow.
Just
I want to, while you're going to bring that up, I really want to just go back and I did not beat the drum hard enough when we were discussing this before about the re-emergence of Ilan van Wilder on that stage. It was absolutely insane. He had not been mentioned or seen on camera in 25 minutes. And like suddenly Buitrago appears. Buitrago teleports to the front group, and then boom, just like a Imperial cruiser in Star Wars, like Van Wilder's just like, boom, and he's right there, and he's like, hey, all right, VPP, get on the wheel, we're doing this, and wow,
yeah.
that was so impressive. Well. That's what's happened.
Well,
it's weird.
All right,
it's weird.
So let's see what goes.
Hindsight's 2020.
Let's go.
The team is in an unenviable situation having these 2 leaders.
Let's see how things end. Let's see what happens on Sunday, and we can make our final assessments when we digest the end of the tour. And you're right. On paper, it's a very successful tour, but could they have had, yes, Remco accounted for one of those wins, but what if Merlier could have had 3 other wins and a green jersey?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And we can engage in a little speculation. Okay. So it's before the Tour de France, and let's say that they have a conversation and are like, look, this is stupid. If we're sending Tim and we're sending Remco, we're splitting the team in half, and we're not going to, we're not going to send a strong enough squad on either side,
which is exactly what happened.
Because this is a Tour de France. So imagine if they had that conversation. They had that come to Jesus, and they actually decided that that's not going to work for us. So what are we going to do? We have one of 2 choices. You leave Tim at home, or you leave Remco at home. So let's consider what happens in each of those instances. They leave Tim at home. So now you got a whole team dedicated to Remco Evenepoel. Guess what? That's
he still ends up abandoning.
That's a disaster. He abandons, and then you got jack shit. You got an ITT win.
Well, maybe in the Perry-Bonjour win, probably.
Well, and then or you're scrambling for you're scrambling for stage wins. Maybe you get another stage win. Yeah, maybe you get a VPP.
But for a team like Quick Step, that would not be that would be a good tour. That would not be a successful campaign.
Yeah. Now you go the other way, and they leave Remco at home. Well, and okay, yeah. So they, in a, we'll talk about the racing sense, and then we'll talk about the public sense. So you leave Remco at home, and now you've got a full blown sprint team, good old classic Quick Step, and they are all there supporting Merlier, and they are bossing it at the front on every one of the sprint stages. He mops up Milan. I don't know that he wins 5, but I think he wins 4 for sure.
That's what I would think. I think he would absolutely double up.
But maybe he wins 5 over the course of the entire tour. But you don't get the Remco win. You maybe don't get the VPP win. So now it's all on Merlier to get the numbers. If you're considering the metric of stage wins as being the measure of success. And then when you take a step back, you got to look at the backlash. Either way, you're going to have all kind of people in Belgian press talking shit. You left Tim Merlier? He's having the season of his life, and you didn't bring him to the Tour de France? You're a Quick Step, But Remco, it's our project. It's our multi-year, it's our thing. It's the thing. And then wait, you left Remco? You did Remco? He's the hero of Belgium. You didn't bring him to the Tour? You know what I'm saying? They're damned if you do and you're damned. They got in a really enviable situation.
I totally agree with you, but I still think that you go with, again, fucking Tim Merlier's got 10 wins.
I know. I agree. I mean, that definitely would have been the smarter play. I think in the end, that's the smarter play. But it's a very, very difficult situation.
It's just very interesting. It's very interesting to see, now that it's more or less, it's played itself out outside of, a couple more days to see what this has, what's transpired with that, especially it being, and maybe they make that decision because they know that it's a limited sprint Tour de France. It was not a Tour de France for sprinters. So I just don't know. I don't know.
All right, I want to talk Trek for just a sec.
All right, hit it up.
Can we do a Trek sec?
Yeah. Well,
not least of all because I've got this stage on mute over there, and I'm watching, and Trek is already at the front of the peloton, bossing it. First statement is that they are the multiple jersey team. What is it about Trek? It's like the other jerseys that appear just look so good. I just saw a shot of the whole line. Oh, there it comes on again. You've got which guy is the national champions jersey that's red on top and then white and then red down below? One of the Trek dudes.
It's hold on.
But then you've got Quinn in the US, and then you've got Milan in the green. So there's 3 guys wearing the regular kit, and there's 3 guys wearing alternate kit, and it just looks so good on that team. What is it about that? It looks so good.
Well, and you've got Quinn as well.
Right, but that's the other thing I want to talk about. We did not mention how about the job that dude did on yesterday's stage to get Milan there. And when they were coming across the finish line and his teammates were both just pointing at him this is the guy. This is the guy right there. Chased down.
Is it Tom Squinge?
Yes, that's what it is. Tom Squinge.
Yeah.
From Latvia, right?
Yeah. Poor Matty Skelmos.
Yeah.
Old Skelly dog. He bowed out.
Skelly's out, and apparently I did not see it, but somebody, I think Benji and Patrick were talking about it, and the if you catch one of the on the ground, came out on Instagram fan video clips of that crash, it's nasty. It's nasty. I don't even know if I want to watch it. I don't want to see Matthias go through that. I haven't sought it out. But did you catch that where they when after Quinn chased down multiple attacks over and over and over again to make sure that Johnny M is there at the finish, and then Milan close out the deal. Meanwhile, Quinn is coming in 2-3 minutes behind him after all that work. They got him into the finishing kilometers and then fell off. But when he was coming across the line, his two teammates were with him, and they were both just like, "That is the man right there." They're both pointing at him like, "This is." Did you see that?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh,
When he
man.
came across the line. Yeah.
Yeah, and I fear he's not going to get his chance. I don't think he will win his Tour de France stage. I don't know. Maybe he does something special in 21, but it's
One can fucking hope.
yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
basically, we've got so tomorrow, Friday. I know one of them is another big mountains,
I think it's
and
mountain, and
then Paris,
Paris. Yeah.
which is undulating, basically.
3 times over that climb that they did in the Olympics.
Yeah, the Montmartre. But if you look at the profile, it's not like these climbs they're doing
Right.
today. Like
No.
it's little. They're little bumps.
No, it's gonna feel
just
more.
short,
It's gonna
sharp.
feel more like a
It's like a classic.
like a classic.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we go over because this is our first week where we've got some change in the UCI points standings.
Yeah, do it.
Shall we go over this? Okay, so let's recap last time we were here. Intermarché in 16th with a 185 point lead. Astana back from them with a 534 point lead over Picnic Postinel, who had an 856 point lead over Cofidis. All right, so now through the 23rd. In 16th place, won XDS Astana with a 10-point lead over Intermarché. So they have now moved from the 17th to the 16th position. So
Nice.
they are getting safer. Intermarché is still holding a 529-point lead over Picnic Postinel.
They're just doing nothing, man. It's so disappointing how Bidium has just been let non-existent in this tour.
Picnic Postinel's carrying a 10-21 lead over Cofidis, really pushing that deficit. But I added in a new team into the mix to watch, another team to look out for. One, Uno X Mobility.
I didn't even realize they were like further down than all these teams. I never would have even.
Okay,
guessed
so
that.
Uno X is 759 points back of Cofidis right now. All right, so they easily, which is going to put them about 1,800 points behind Picnic Postinel. They are in this, okay? Like, they are not completely out of it by any stretch. And a good tour has given them that. So they have had, a little bit of success, obviously, with the stage win. Massive amount of points that they got there. So we're
Well,
going
and
to keep...
Abrahamson's been out front, like gobbling up points on intermediate sprints and stuff like that,
Yes.
too. I mean, yeah.
So hats off to Uno X for being now the 5th team in the points hunt on the team bus.
This race is so tantalizing. Can I take that little segment and create a perfect segue into our non-cycling talk?
Hell yeah, go for it.
As we were talking of moving up through the ranks and through the through the levels, the relegations and whatnot. I just wanted to take a quick mention that the Twin Farms Tigers, my daughter's swim teams, completed a perfect season this past Saturday by winning the divisionals championship meet. And my daughter Harmony took first place in the one heat in which she participated in, which was the bottom half of the girls 11 to 12 50-meter butterfly. So all of the girls in the first heat did better times than her, so she came in 7th. She was the first in the 7 to 12 group, and she got 7th. But that was good enough for 7 points to contribute to the team, which had an undefeated season, including a win in the relay carnival and a win in the divisionals tournament. It was pretty freaking awesome.
Chapo, that is great.
And we're moving up from Division M to Division L. We're losing our 2 of our biggest point scorer seniors. Both graduated, Adriana and what's the other kid's name? Patrick or something, I can't remember. They're out the door to college, and they were bringing in lots and lots of points. So it's time for Lily and Harmony to step up, start taking some prisoners, because Lily and Harmony will be in the top end of 11 to 12 next summer. And I know that there's a couple of girls that have been taking the spots in that category that are moving up. So there will be a little room for these girls. I'm gonna be cracking the whip over the winter.
That's
Winter
awesome.
swim. I want them going hard next year.
All right. What else you got?
Okay. Can I rant for a second? Well,
Sure.
there was another cycling thing I did want to talk about. I had put this in early in the week. It said Tadej factoid, his 19
Yeah.
Tour de France stage wins put him tied for 7th all time with Francois Faber and one behind Nicolas France in 6th.
Except
To reach the top five,
it's 21 now.
right? To reach the top 5, he'll need 3 more wins to draw tied for 5th with Andre Darragad at 22, or 4 more for sole ownership of 5th. Okay, well he's already got 2 of those 4. 2 more stage wins, which could happen in this Tour de France, and he would be in sole ownership of 5th place all time Tour de France stage wins. Do you recall last year when multiple? Oh my God, is that? Oh no. Last year when multiple, cycling pundits and whatnot, after Cavendish got his 35th win, were uttering sentences along the lines of, this thing won't be touched for decades. Like, it'll be this thing. Now, this one will stand forever. The entire time I'm listening to that, I'm like, are y'all not watching
What?
were y'all not watching the Tour de France?
I believe that he went
Pogacar
like
just
this.
like this. Yes. Like, really? And sure enough,
In 1
Lance,
year. Yeah.
he's already in the conversation for sole place of 5th.
Yeah.
I
think we've both agreed that we're finally like ready to just give in and just ready for him to just annihilate everything that he touches.
Yes, absolutely. I'm totally down for that. So let's talk about what are the big goals left in this guy's career.
Does he have a Vuelta?
Well, obviously that's a big one, and he's going to the Vuelta this year. He didn't do the Giro. He's going.
He's
to the
being
Vuelta.
coy about it.
He will probably win the Vuelta this year.
Vingegaard is definitely going, and he's being coy about going, but I think he is. I think that is the plan.
I think that box gets checked this year so that he can just get it out of the way and focus on other shit. Who is going to beat him in the Vuelta? Jonas Vingegaard? No. It's not going to happen. I don't know.
I mean,
hey,
there's only one
great
person that could beat him, and it is
right,
Jonas
there's only
Vingegaard.
one person that could possibly.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So then there's of course Milan San Remo and Paris-Roubaix. He's got to complete. He's got to complete the
monuments.
And I mentioned last week that Eddie Merckx won each of the monuments at least twice, which is insane. So that could be, I don't know. I know Pog's got 2 Flanders, and does he have 2 Liège-Bastogne-Liège? The thought of him winning 2 MSRs seems darn near impossible.
I guess that depends on how he wins MSR. If he literally like changes his style of riding so that he can do it, changes
figures it out, if he like
if there's a
the
physical
puzzles.
change that he makes to be able to win that race, I could see him doing it more than once.
Yeah, you're right. It could happen. Anyways, and then there's.
I don't think he would have any interest in winning Paris-Roubaix twice. I think if he conquered that there probably wouldn't be any reason to go back and do it, because to me that would be. It's a much higher risk race, and if you want to win everything, like, why would you put yourself through that every spring?
Yeah. All right. Then there's
Does he have a Dauphiné and Paris-Nice at this point? Like, does he have?
I'm pretty sure he's won all that stuff. I don't know that there's the only 1 week stage races that he hasn't won are lesser stage races that he's probably not concerned with. No, I'm thinking more along the lines of total Tour de France stage wins. That's a biggie. Tours de France wins, period. Like winning 7 Tours de France.
Well, I think cycling needs, at this point, because he's going to have 4 now. I think cycling needs him to win 7 or 8 Tour de France's. to just cleanse that palate and say that, he isn't the greatest of all time. Because the argument can be made that he is. Yes, he was.
But it's fun to argue about it too. I mean, we talked about how Eddie Merckx had over 500 wins in his career, and that it's not a realistic number, but still, the whole having won but all the monuments not once but twice is insane. And he's like two riders in one. I think an Olympic gold medal would probably be a big one.
Yes.
On the Tade bucket list. What else is there? Did he win? Has he won Strade Bianche?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, I know what it is.
What?
I can't believe it. It was right in front of our noses the entire time. The Maryland Cycling Classic. Can you imagine if Pog came to the Maryland Cycling Classic?
If it was just on a box.
It's not out of the question because he's gone to Montreal before, and as we know, it's grouped with the Quebec and the Montreal thing. So he could go back there. It's a late season thing. The man likes to race his bike, and maybe he decides to stick around and eat a few Chesapeake Bay blue crabs and race the Maryland Cycling Classic.
Drink some Natty Bows and get some booze barbecue down by Cannon Yards.
Go running past people sitting out there on the stoop drinking Natty Bows and listening to the radio. Hey, there's Tadej Pogacar. He's that bike racer.
There's Tadej Pogacar.
Oh my God, I'm watching this race on silent mode, and I'm just seeing. First, I see Tim Wellens off the front all by himself in his weird Belgian jersey, and then I'm seeing Quinn Simmons off the front. It's just beautiful. All right, we got 1 minute and 16 seconds left on our feed here.
I see it, and it's going to say less than a minute in 10 seconds.
We should probably wrap this up.
I agree.
This has been the Team Bus, brought to you by Beyond the Slipstream podcast. I'm glad we decided to push through and rock this episode out.
Yeah, I had fun.
I had fun too. Join us in a couple of days when we're going to be talking about the finish of the Tour de France men's and the start of the Tour de France women's.
Yes.
I'm so psyched. Do yourself a favor, folks. Go and watch the GCN Tour de France From preview show, paying special attention to the first about 70 seconds of the broadcast, where they run a really, really well-produced recap of last year's race, which was going to go down in history as one of the great bike races of all time. Justin, I'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
Mwah.
Ale.
The Team Bus is part of the Beyond the Slipstream family and is produced by Harperama. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, and tell your friends about us. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time. Ale!